What's up, beautiful people, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Crystal, this is Bond Book Reviews, and today it is time for another round of PickPong. We're going to be jumping into some throws. Again, we're playing on the floor because my renovations are still very much happening in the laundry. We had the tiler come in today and start the tiling process. We'll have tiles completely in there by Monday, and then we will also have the plumber coming in on Thursday. So my laundry will be completely finished by the end of next week, and that will mean that I will have my lobby area, aka my reading nook and library, back ready for filming moving forward, if all goes according to plan. But for now, we're in the living room where things are a little chaotic still. I do have my Christmas tree up, we did that. Most decorations have been pulled off by Addie, so it's not looking its prime. But we're gonna jump in and talk about how I did last month first. Then we're gonna talk about what my plans are this month in terms of reading, and then we'll jump into the throws. So these were the books that I needed to read last month in order to complete PickPong. How many of them have I read, you ask? 2. How many books did I read last month? 15, just not these particular books. As you would have known if you watched my TBR last month, I also participated in a crazy readathon called Get a Clue Readathon. I was obsessed. It was fantastic. I had so much fun. I was a co-host for her team, Colonel Mustard. We had so much fun. Unfortunately, we didn't win, but it was a great time. And unfortunately, because the prompts were dropped randomly throughout the month, it was really, really difficult for me to try and get these books on. So the books that I did read, which were on this TBR, were The Elite, which is the second book in the, what's it called series? The Selection series by Kira Cass, which I really, really enjoyed. I am planning on continuing and hopefully finishing this series in 2024. And of course, Iron Flame, which I did for a buddy read, which again, I really enjoyed. I do have some like speculations and things I didn't like about it, but I don't want to go into spoiler territory, so we're not going to go into that. I did start As Seen on TV. I think I got about 100 pages in or so. I wasn't absolutely loving it, so I'm happy to put it down for now. But yeah, so these 3 did not get to, unfortunately. Maybe they will continue into next year. Now, as for my reading plans for December, everyone else is starting to read like Christmas books. That is not my plan. My plan is to just go with the flow. I am participating in a really, really fun year-long readathon in 2024, which is hosted by the lovely Merb from Reading with Merb, and she is doing what's called Bookemon. It is a Pokemon-based readathon that lasts for the entire 12 months of 2024. I will have the announcement video linked down below so you can go and check it out. But in 2023, in December, we have like a mini round where you pick your starter Pokemon and also get a bunch of tools that will help you do better in 2024. So I am going to be doing reading, trying to hit those prompts to get as many of those tools as I possibly can. So today I'm going to be trying to combine the prompts that I get for here with those prompts to get me the bonus tools so that I have less books that I have to read. But obviously, even though I read 15 books, I did not read the books I was meant to read for PickPong, so I'm going to count this as a fail, although technically I probably could have somehow filled the prompts with the ones that I did read. I'm just going to call it a fail. So we'll start with the punishment, which is always fun. And the punishment we are starting with is good old, our favorite, backwards throw. This is going to be interesting considering I am on my knees throwing backwards and I'm in a completely different position than I usually am. So we could be here a while. Grab yourself a cup of tea and wish me luck. Okay, so we are backwards. I don't even know if I can see the camera right now. I hope that I'm in frame. Hold on. Yes, I am. All right. So throw number 1. Throw number 2. Way too many Weet-Bix this morning. Throw number 3. How I got that in after the 3 throws. Wait, I heard it go in a cup. Oh no, here it is. Okay. So our first prompt out of 5 is thrift shop. So this is just any book that I purchased at a thrift shop. This shouldn't be very hard at all. Let me go and find something that I purchased at a thrift shop that will also fulfill one of the prompts that I need for the tools for Pokemon. Okay, so one of the prompts that you need to complete is to read a book about a character that is on vacation. So one that I got at a thrift shop is The Road Trip by Beth O'Leary. This is one that has seen both positive and negative reviews for Beth O'Leary, so I don't really know where it's gonna sit. I loved some of Beth's other books, so I'm hoping it falls in the love side of things. But that's what I'm going to read for a character that is on vacation to get me the tool that I need. And it's from a thrift shop, so it counts. And we will replace that prompt with independent. And of course I can turn back around now because we don't have the punishment anymore because I completed it. Okay, so time for prompt number 2. Oh, that spun out. That's so not fair. Okay. Prompt number 2 is out of comfort zone, but it does have a reward on it. You know what this is going to work really well with? There is a prompt that we need to complete for a tool where we have to read a book that we would be embarrassed to read in public, or that someone else would be embarrassed to read in public if we don't get embarrassed easily. I think that a book that is going to put me out of my comfort zone is probably also going to be embarrassing to read in public, potentially. So that could be one option. But let me go have a look at my bookshelf because I'm sure there's something else on there that is a little out of my comfort zone. I mean, I'm kind of very genre verse in terms of the fact that I read a lot of things other than non-fiction. So maybe a non-fiction might be out of my comfort zone. Let me have a look. Okay, so I found a non-fiction book that will work for this, and this one I am planning on reading on sprints because one of the tool challenges you have to do is read an entire book that is 250 pages or more on sprints. So I am going to read 488 Rules for Life by Kitty Flanagan. This is a non-fiction book. I definitely don't read books like this. I've heard it's quite funny. I've heard it's quite relatable. I know a girl at work like tagged this and had like almost every page tagged. So I know I'm probably going to enjoy it, but it's definitely out of the comfort zone of what I normally would read. And I'm going to have that as my sprint book to get that challenge. Now it's time to pick my reward. And my reward is I get an extra ball. If you have not been here before and you don't know how the extra ball reward works, effectively I can throw 2 balls. If one goes in, then I get to fulfill the prompt and then the other miss doesn't count. If both miss, it just counts as 1 miss. However, if both go in, I get to count both prompts, but it only counts as 1 throw. Like, so I don't, yeah, I get to fulfill 2 prompts with 1 throw. But let me get a replacement prompt for that cup, and then we'll get our extra ball, and fingers crossed I get 2 in. Okay, so we have TV or movie adaptation. Put that in there. Okay, so I have 2 balls. We're currently on 2 misses, and it is time to try and get our 3rd prompt and potentially our 4th if I get both in. So I both missed, but I only count it as 1 miss, and however, I do not get to continue that reward. It's not like punishments where they continue to go. Your reward is only for 1 throw. So now we're back to 1 ball and we've got 3 misses. Okay, time for prompt number 3. And that is 4 misses. That's 5 misses, so we have to do 6 books in December. Okay, we are successful on our next throw. We have just got prompt number 3. Let's find out what it is. I'm doing so many squats, standing up and down and throwing this. My legs are like, girl, you're doing a workout. Okay, so for prompt number 3, we have a book box book, and it has a reward on it. So I have a couple of book boxes that I subscribed to. And I also feel like this can work if there's a book that I know has been part of like Book of the Month, is kind of how I use this prompt. Because I don't subscribe to Book of the Month here in Australia, we can't get it. But if there is a book that has been in Book of the Month, I count that as like a book box book. But for this, I think I'm going to go with one of the books that was on a book box that I've had in the past. So let me go check out my book box books and come back to you with a pick. I don't think any of them are going to reach the challenges that I need for my bonus prompts for Pokemon though. Hold on. So I lied, I did find one. We have a book box that was sent to me kindly by a Newcastle business. And this book was in there, and it is called The Funny Thing About Norman Foreman. And this has a predominantly white cover. The lighting isn't really doing great things for it in here, but it is a predominantly white cover. And that is one of the bonus prompts that will get me a tool for Pokemon. So I have no idea what this is about. All I know is that it was in that book box that I got 2 years ago and has been sitting there this entire time. So it's probably a good excuse for me to pick it up. It's kind of like that off-white, kind of creamy white though. It's not like straight white, but I will still count it. It still smells like the soap that was in the box. So that's a nice little sensory thing as I read the book. All I know is that this follows like a comedy duo that plan to like perform together, and then one of the performers dies before that happens, and then it's kind of like this redemption arc from the other person. So I'm expecting like both funny and sad within this book. Okay, let's find our next reward, because there was a reward on that slip, and then we'll replace the prompt. So our next reward is -1 miss, so that puts us back to 0 misses, and we will see how we go moving forward. And we're going to replace that prompt with poll pick. So the last two like joint prompts that I need to complete is something that I would be embarrassed to be caught reading in public, and something that is the last book in a series. So my two options for the last book in a series, because I'm in so many of the middle of the series, but none of them that I'm up to the final book. So the only ones that I'm up to the final book in the series of is Wild by Kay Webster. I'm up to the sequel because it's only a duology. And the final book in the Ice Planet Barbarian series, Barbarian Bride. So both of these are very embarrassing smart, that I would potentially be embarrassed reading in public, but I have read many of the other books in that series in public and not been embarrassed. So I don't think that counts. So we will see, maybe I'll get both on here, but let's see what the prompts do and guide us to. Let's try again for prompt number 4. Okay, so prompt number 4 is POC rep with another reward on it. Christmas PickPong is being kind to me. Surprise, surprise, surprise! I've probably spoken too soon now. But yeah, let's have a look what prompt number 4 book is going to be. So I need something that is POC, which means that it has POC rep or is written by a POC author. So I either need something that is the last in a series, which neither of those are written by a POC author or have POC rep. So let me have a look and see if I can find a book that I would be embarrassed to read in public that has POC rep, which probably wouldn't happen. Let me have a look at my shelf. Okay, so I have found the perfect option for me to pick a, I have to pick a book that has a tree on the cover in order to complete my Earthstone Bookemon, to receive my initial starter Pokemon. And so I'm going to pick Razorblade Tears by S.A. Cosby. It does have a tree on the front and it does have POC rep. So it hits both of those to get me my starter Pokemon, my starter Pokemon, as well as hit that bonus POC. So it doesn't necessarily hit the bonus prompts to get me a tool, but it does hit the thing to get me my starter Pokemon, which I almost forgot to include on this TBR. So that is what I'm going to be reading for book number 4. Let's find out what my reward is and then we'll replace this prompt. So my reward is mood read, which means that if I want to, I can mood read any of these prompts. I'm going to put that mood read on the book box book because most likely that's going to be the one I'm least likely going to be interested in, and that way I can pick any other white book cover if I'd like to still get that bonus. So that's where I'm going to put that. I mean, I can use any throughout the month, but that's where I'm going to put it for now. Let's replace the prompt and find our 5th book. So we're replacing it with female protagonist. I'm pretty sure we're still on 2 misses. I'm sure you guys will let me know in the comments if I'm wrong. Three misses? No, I got one minus 1 miss, so that's only 2 misses now. And we get it in, so that's book number 5. Let's find out what our prompt is. We have poll pick, which poll pick was with the book box book. Now I need to combine poll pick and book box book together, but then I can use my mood read on that book if I need to. So I'm not even going to bother putting a poll up because I'm most likely going to use a mood read anyways. So I'm not going to waste all your time voting on that, but that means I have 1 less book, so I'm back down to 5. Let's replace this prompt and find my 5th and final book, aka my 6th prompt. We're replacing it with a banned book, and we have to move all the cups around because I doubled up. And trying to tip water like I did last month, because that would not be fun. Okay, final book, final book, final book. Miss 3. Miss 4. I keep hitting the Christmas tree with my ass. Oh no, that's Miss 5. Shit, that brings us back up to 6 books. I got cocky. Let's find our 5th book. No! Miss number 2. Miss number 3. Miss number 4. I don't know if I'm going to be able to when I edit this, but if I can, I will zoom in on how close that was to going into this cup. Alright, so that brings us to 5 misses. So now I have to do 7 books, I think. But it's actually 6 because I can combine the 2 prompts. So let's get book number 5. No! I've lost count. I think that was 3 more misses. So oh my God, thank God. Okay, so with 1 miss to spare, we've managed to get our 5th book out of 7. And I'm not mad about it. It's LGBTQIA+. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pick a steamy queer romance to read in public, not because I'm embarrassed of queer, but because they usually have very, very risque covers. I will find one. I'm not sure which one. I will probably put it up here in editing and show you which risque cover I'm going to read in public. It'll be on my Kindle. I will be reading it on the train. There will be people who can read over my shoulder, which may be embarrassing because I'll either give an old lady a heart attack or some creepy man behind me will get weirdly excited. Let's hope that this one final miss can get me to my 6th and final book. And we will replace that prompt with favorite genre. I'm getting hot in here. It's like 38 degrees today. Whew. All right, I got 1 miss left to get 1 book. I mean, I never should tell you that because every single time I tell you that is when I miss. But anyways, which ball do I want to use? Which one's feeling lucky? I'm gonna go this one. I probably made the wrong choice. I'm sorry, I love you too, but I mean, I read 15 books last month, but 8 books just seems like so many. This isn't fun anymore. I mean, I probably don't need to tell you, but we're on 4 misses now. I got too cocky. I was going so well. Okay, so that brings us to 9 books, which is actually 8 books because I can combine the 2 prompts that I picked before. Oh, come on. This cup is cursed. I've hit it so many times and it hasn't gone in. So as usual, I have 1 more miss left, which is gonna bring us to 10, and I always cap it at 10. I never go above 10, that's just like the rule. So if I get 1 more miss, then I will just keep throwing until I get all 9 prompts. It's not as fun because the risk is kind of gone, but that's what I do. I just cap it at 10, it's just my rule. So let's hope I can keep it at 9. 1 more miss left and we'll end up with 10. There you have it, we're on 10 books. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try, and if I get 5 more misses, I'm gonna end up just picking 4 more cups randomly because we don't wanna be here all day. Let's try for book number 5. Oh, thank fuck. So, our 6th book is, of fucking course, it's a big book, which means it has to be over 500 pages. And neither of my final books in the series that I would like to get on here are 500 pages. Let me find a book I want to read that's over 500 pages. Okay, so the only book that I could find on my TBR that was over 500 pages is Mistborn, which is the first book, The Final Empire, which is the first book in the Mistborn series, which is well over 500 pages. It is 650 pages. So I think it classifies as a big book. I have wanted to read this series for a while. I just didn't plan on doing it in December. So that's what we're doing. Let's replace that prompt with Goodreads Rec. Now we have been here for almost 30 minutes of filming time. So I guarantee it's probably gonna be close to 20 something minutes by the time I calculate all these stories. So what I'm gonna do is for my final 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I've got 6. For my final 3 books, I am going to just pick 3 random cups in general. I do not know what is on the bottom of these. I've mixed them around since I put them on the bottom. I don't pay attention when I put them on the bottom. Rewards and punishments will still count depending on which ones I select at random. Okay, let's go with, I'm gonna go with one of these front cups because I like never hit these like front ones very often. So I'm gonna go with the front cup. I got first in a series with a punishment on it. So let's find out what my punishment is first and then we'll pick a series. Okay, so the punishment is step back, which obviously doesn't come into play because I'm picking them at random. The first in a series that I am going to read will be, good question, Crystal. First in a series. Okay, so I'm going to go the first in the Chronicle of Ancient Darkness series, which is Wolf Brother by Michelle Paver. This is I think it's a middle grade series if I recall. I feel like it's going to be really, really quick. It's quite a short book. So I'm being kind to myself, and that is going to be the series that I start. The next book that I am going to, the next cup that I am going to randomly pick is going to be this one right here, which is Weapon. So this is a book that has a weapon in the title or on the cover, and I need to last in a series, and I'm pretty sure neither of those books have a weapon, unless in Barbarian Bride he happens to have a weapon. Let me look at the cover. I may be able to make this work. Okay, it did not. So with Weapon on the cover, I am going to go with All Systems Red by Martha Wells. The robot on the cover is literally a weapon meant to kill humans. So I'm using it that way. But if you don't like that, this one, which I picked the first in the series, has a weapon on the cover, and this is the first in the series. So I can always swap the prompts around and it still works. And then my last prompt, I am going to pick this cup here, which is TBR jar, which means I need to randomize my entire owned TBR. The problem is that I do not have my entire owned TBR currently on my shelf, like on Goodreads. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do TBR jar on my entire Kindle, because my entire Kindle collection is up to date. I haven't finished my physical shelf yet. So I'm gonna TBR jar randomize my Kindle, and that's the book that I'm gonna have to read for TBR jar. I'll put the result up on the screen here for you, and that is the book that I'm going to be reading for TBR jar, which will be my 9th and final book for the month of December. Let me pull across the pile so we can look at it all up close and personal. Oh my god, I'm going to sit down here because I am sore. So for PAC, we are going to be reading Razorblade Tears. For BookBok Books and Poll, which I'm combining, I am going to use my mood read on and be able to read anything other than this because I didn't mind it, but I'm not like super keen for it. Then for Out of Comfort Zone, we are going to read a non-fiction. We're going to read 48 Rules for Life by Kitty Flanagan. For Thrift Shop, we are going to read The Road Trip by Beth O'Leary. For Big Book, we are going to read the first in the Mistborn trilogy, The Final Empire. For the first in a series, we are going to read Martha Wells' All System Red. And for Weapon on the cover, we are going to read the Wolf Brother series, and we are going to read Chronicle of Ancient Darkness, Book 1. Then we have an LGBTQIA+ book, which I am going to just pick a random queer romance. It will be up here. TBR jar, I'm going to do a random number generator on my entire Kindle library, and this is what I am going to read. Wish me luck. Will I fail again? Who knows? I am actually quite excited for a number of these reads. I think it's going to be a good month. I'm very excited to get all of these bonus prompts that are going to help me in 2024 with Bookemon. I am so hot and sweaty after all of this. If you have made it this far and you do not have some kind of comment you would like to leave down below from all this chaos, you can let me know what book you are most looking forward to in the month of December. If you're participating in Bookemon, what team you are choosing to pick for your starting Pokemon. And also, if you don't have anything to say and you would like to somehow be involved in the conversation, you can leave a wolf emoji down below because I'm pretty sure there is one. Until next time, guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a great weekend and happy reading. Bye!